Hey, good afternoon, guys. This is Nathan Pennington from RunDreamAchieve.com. Today's video, I had a question from one of my subscribers, Run. Appreciate your question. This guy is currently, he's got a PR of 3 hours and 30 minutes for his marathon, and he's asking how long will it take to finally break 3 hours. I wish I could answer that to you, give you a specific time, Ron. I appreciate the question, but you've already got a very competitive marathon time already. To go from 3 hours and 30 minutes to 2:59 obviously is going to take significant changes in the way you prepare for the marathon. I would highly recommend going to RunDreamAchieve.com and checking out the sub 3 hour marathon pro course. I think in that course I cover pretty much from A to Z every single thing you can possibly think of in regards to getting under 6:52 per mile pace. Obviously, to drop that amount of time, it's gonna take more than just the physical training. There's a huge mental aspect of preparing to drop that amount of time. And I think the mental component of training is often overlooked. We get real caught up with what our mile splits are and how far we did our tempo runs that we forego mental training and visualizing and continually training the subconscious mind to get to a point where you actually believe it's going to happen prior to it happening in reality. I was that way when I was a 2:43 marathoner and I was trying to get under 2 hours and 22 minutes. Again, a massive jump in time, about 21 minutes. So a lot of the things that I cover in that course will help you. But just to give you a few tips here in this video, I highly recommend you cannot just run easy every single weekend for that long run. Now, I've stated this a lot in a lot of the videos that I've made so far, and on the website itself, that if you're running long and slow for every single weekend, you're obviously it's still important to do that. You're still building endurance, but when you're trying to go from 3 hours and 30 minutes to 2 hours and 59 minutes, you have to obviously increase the pace of how long you can sustain at, near, or far below goal race pace. And increasing the paces of your long run is obviously going to help you create that big significant jump that you're looking for. Obviously, this is not something I think that can happen in a matter of months. Obviously, there are outliers out there. There's some people that go out and will go and just drop a huge amount of time, whether that be like 30 minutes or 40 minutes, 10 minutes, big chunks of time off their current personal best. And a lot of that goes with because they're doing the track workouts where they're training far below what they're wanting to race at the marathon distance. They're doing their long runs. The long runs may be significantly long enough to obviously build that strength and that endurance that you're looking for. The track workouts are obviously going to build, it's going to increase your anaerobic threshold. It's going to increase your lactate tolerance. These are absolutely essential for you to drop that amount of time, to go from 3:30 to 2:59. Just like when I went from 2:43 to 2:19, it was a matter of definitely one of the biggest factors for that was increasing my long run pace. Now, granted, I do stress increasing the pace of your long runs and holding your heart rate at a higher heart rate, usually between 155 and 160, preferably around 160. But that being said, it takes time to adapt to do that. You don't just go from running 20 milers at, say you have just for example, say your goal is to run 8 minutes for the marathon distance, 8 minutes per mile. So going out and running 20 miles at 9-minute pace or 9:30 pace will obviously make you very strong for somebody that's trying to hold that pace. Obviously, this isn't your goal, but just for example's sake, doing 9 minutes to 9:15 pace for 20 miles is obviously going to build strength, but what that athlete would have to do, what I would recommend, is gradually starting off at like 4 to 6 miles at like 8:30 pace, and then gradually as you get fitter and fitter and fitter, you can extend the amount of distance you're running and the amount of time you're spending at a higher heart rate. Now that goes for you as well. It's just for, regardless if somebody's trying to break 3 hours or somebody's trying to break 4 hours. A sub 4 hour marathoner needs to run 9:09 per mile. In your case, you need to hold 6:52 per mile. So the thing that I want you to keep in mind is, one, you got to have an extreme amount of patience. You're trying to drop from 3:30 to 2:59. It could take several months if you got it right, perfect, and you just had you tapered correctly and you got everything right. There are cases where people do that. They make those huge jumps. Keep in mind, before I ran 2:19, my PR was 2:40.02. So I went 2:40.02 to 2:19.35. That's about a 21-minute drop. Now, granted, I had run 50:54 for 10 miles and 1:07.06 for the half marathon prior to that. So you have to have workouts or races that kind of signify that, hey, I'm ready to do this. As we all know, the marathon is not a 5K or a mile on the track or 2 miles, something like that. It's an event that has a lot of components to it, so you have to get a lot of things right in terms of your training, your nutrition, your rest. Your taper's got to be right. Sometimes athletes often they taper too far out from their main event. For me personally, a 3-week taper has never really worked best for me. I've always performed my best doing a 10-day taper, which is what I teach in the sub 3 hour marathon course. So if you haven't yet, if you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe. Click on the subscribe button and the bell icon. That way, when I make new videos, you'll get new updates. But if you're new to the course, new to the website, just to give you a background, I've had RunDreamAchieve.com now for going on 8 years. I've been running for about 28 years. So my main goal is to help beginner to elite level athletes get to that next jump. It doesn't matter if your specialty is middle distance, you're more of a miler or a 5K athlete, or you're a marathon runner like A-Run. The key aspect, the key thing I want you to keep in mind is all of this training it comes down to being able to clear lactic acid faster than it's building up in your bloodstream. And obviously, easy running is critical. It's still very important to do long runs at an easy pace. And workouts at, obviously recovery runs at a very easy pace, but it's absolutely critical if you have a time-specific goal to train at close to or very, very far below your goal marathon race pace or 5K or 10K race pace, whatever your goal event is, that is absolutely critical. So A-Run, to answer your question, I know, like I said, I don't have an exact amount of time to give you in terms of how quickly you can drop from 3 hours and 30 minutes to 2:59. All I can say is, if you're doing the quality work, if you're focusing more on quality mileage rather than just junk miles. If you're running long, slow, easy miles, it's going to make you a very good long, slow, easy runner. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just in terms of goals, if you have race goals, which in your case you're trying to break 3 hours, you're highly competitive, you're already at 3:30, which is an outstanding marathon time, then obviously you're going to have different goals than somebody that's maybe preparing for their first marathon, which is just makes sense. But yeah, it's all going to come down to how diligent you are in training. Are you practicing that goal race pace? So your pace you need to focus on is 6 minutes and 52 seconds per mile. You got to get comfortable. You got to get to a point where that pace feels comfortable to you, and you're not stressed out. Obviously in training from that. So a lot of repeat miles at 5:35 to 5:45 mile pace. Get your long runs down to where you're getting anywhere from 7 to 16 miles of that long run at around 6:50 pace, 6:50 to 7-minute mile pace, in that range. So as long as you're close to it, obviously doing a long run at that type of intensity will take a lot out of you. So I cannot stress this enough, that you really have to focus on those easy days when you after that long run's done, you are jogging. Take it easy. Make sure your heart rate's between 130 and 150 beats per minute, preferably between 130 and 140. It's going to feel very, very easy, jog pace, but make sure you're recovering. All the benefits of the hard work that you're putting in, whether on the track or on the roads, is all going to come from the rest. And backing off is sometimes the hardest part of our preparation. We're all very driven to succeed in our events. Doesn't matter, even if you're a total beginner, you still have goals. You're still fired up. You're still motivated to get out the door, whether it's to lose weight or to run your first 5K or run your first marathon. We're all highly driven people. So a lot of times, the most difficult part of preparation is backing off when we know we should, and not just running hard all the time. So A-Run, main objective for you is, above all else, is to be patient, because to go from 330 to 259 obviously will take a lot of effort, a lot of diligence, a lot of focus. You'll have a lot of trial and error in regards to that. That is not, you're already highly competitive. To go from that to 259 it will take a lot of work on your part, just like it was for me. I'm speaking from experience. I had many failures, had ups and downs in training. In my races, I'd go out and I'd be on 220 marathon or sub 222 or sub 220 marathon pace for 18 to 20 miles in my race, and crash and burn. And I had to learn what was going on, what was I doing wrong in training, and to get it right. So just stay patient, stay consistent, stay motivated, and you're going to get to that 259. You'll break that 3-hour marathon barrier. So hope this video has been helpful. If this, and not just for you, A-Run, but anybody else who's watching, whether you're a middle distance runner or you're preparing for the marathon yourself. I've been where you're at. I get it. I totally get it. It's tough. It's an event where you got to be putting in the miles. You got to be out there doing the long runs at a fast clip, and but also focus on that recovery. Don't run you cannot, not me or not anybody else, not Kipchoge, Eliud Kipchoge, Haile Gebrselassie, any of these other top runners, Mo Farah. These athletes push hard and they back off, and they push hard and they back off. So there's a process for this. So make sure you're following that process. Be patient with yourself, and you'll finally get under 3 hours. So again, if you haven't yet, definitely go to RunDreamAchieve.com. I continue to make videos. This is kind of new to me. I've been making videos since about December of 2018, so I haven't been really doing it that long, but I enjoy getting the comments, and I have a few other comments that I'll be making videos on too. So be on the lookout for that, and I appreciate your comment, A-Run, and hopefully this has been helpful for you. Take care.